The Lulu Movie Club, starring Mike Losinger, Jeff Mathers, T.Y. Tyler Gunderson, and the star of the show, Lulu.
Am I the proper distance from the
Yes.
phone?
Yes, very good.
About
Okay.
5 feet closer.
Right. Make sure right. Make sure you're right up in there.
Uh-huh.
All right. So
I know a few things now, boys. I know a few things about this.
This is the 4 versus 13 seed I saw.
yeah,
on there.
I'm gonna bring up the bracket here. So let's make sure you guys can see this. All right, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So we are where are we here? Which region is this first one? All right, West region, we have matchup G, the 4 Wizard of Oz, 1932. Is that right? It's 1938. I don't know why I said that. Versus the Princess Bride, which was, I think that's right, 1987.
Yeah, I think so.
I get those ones right. All right, and then we will have the popular vote bracket that we will reveal. I think the voting is all closed on that, so we'll check that too. When we get there.
Did we
Okay.
have good participation?
Yeah, we got 17 votes last I saw. Is
18.
that right? 18. Okay, there's another one coming in. Cool.
Good.
And
Good.
I also have this judges spreadsheet that is set.
Ooh.
Like as we enter these in, this will calculate, and we'll have a big reveal of what our overall scores are as we go.
I like it.
And that spreadsheet's in the folder. So for those who are just tuning in, this is Lulu's I don't know, what do we call this? Lulu Loves Movies, Lulu Loves Movies movie watching club. This is the first matchup in our movie watching bracket, so stay tuned as we work our way through however many we got, 64, pretty much. At least 64. And then we got all the wild cards too. All right, so let's jump right into it we'll start with Mary Lou because she's here. If you want to go through the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. First, I have to say I'm sitting here with a dry rosé, which is my new drink now.
Ooh.
So if you want to mark it
fancy.
down. Yeah, I know. I like it.
Nice.
Fancy like
Anyway.
Applebee's.
You what? The what? What'd you say? All right, now let me see what I've got here. Okay. Most rewatchable, of course, the hourglass scene with the Wicked Witch when the lion meets Dorothy and all his, shenanigans, which is, timeless. The lion with the crown and singing If I Were King of the Forest. I think those are the best scenes. Best quotes, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. I had an Aunt M once myself. Remember the guy crying at the door? And bust my buttons. Could this be made as a 10-episode Netflix? I said no. Casting, the only thing I thought maybe Bette Midler is the Good Witch. Most significant metaphor, the wizard giving the gifts and the irony of the gifts she gave to the Tin Man and the Lion and the Scarecrow, because obviously the Scarecrow was the smartest of them all, and etc. Also, Dorothy realizing that all the farm hands were in her dream, and that because she really missed her home. Cinematography, I said aged. Well, I don't know what I meant. I put cinematography. I don't know if I meant that it aged the best or the worst. I think it was good, except for the only thing that was when in the beginning when she was in the farm scene, I thought that looked pretty fake. But other than that, I thought they did a pretty good job. Overacting award, I thought the wizard was a little much, and the Tin Man was a little much. The best small role, I said the lion. The Maloke, of course, was the Wicked Witch, and Miss Gulch. Joe Orlowski was either the Scarecrow or Uncle Henry. I got to give it to Uncle Henry. He was a kind soul. And best double feature, I put Lord of the Rings, which I don't know why, but it just seemed to me that I don't know. I thought that might be a good double feature.
Yeah.
Did you
I thought
see all those movies? All three of those?
no,
I
no,
didn't think so.
I just saw little bits of them, and that was all I could take. And I think I gave the Oscar to the director, and I thought for the times it was very well done. And my final thoughts were that it was a classic, thrilling and funny and memorable trip through a young girl's dream. So, do you want me to do my scores now?
Yeah, I'll pull up the spreadsheet. Do you have the scores in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I did, but now you
I
put
know
something
because
else.
I'm on the spreadsheet, but I we'll go through them. All right, so yeah, hold on.
Okay, I gave acting 8 out of 10, directing 10 out of 10, cinematography 9 out of 10, editing, pacing 10 out of 10, screenplay 9, storyline and plot 9.5, music was 10, and production design, costuming 9.8 out of 10.
There's some big scores.
Okay.
As you can see, it's one of my favorite movies.
All right.
Big scores.
Production, you had. What did you have for production? You had 9.8.
Yeah. Well, it was mostly because of the costuming.
Yeah. All right. Entertainment factor 10 out of 10. Artistic factor 9.5 out of 10. All right. So that gives you a total score of. Oops, I put it in the wrong spot, but 8.5.8.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Now I'm anxious to see what you guys think.
All right. So next up we got Tyler.
All right, guys. As usual, I'm about to tear this movie apart.
Oh, I'm gonna be so
I'm
sad.
shocked.
Mm-mm. Didn't like. I remember it. I liked it back then. I didn't this time. All right. So, I said the most rewatchable scenes were the tornado and like opening the door to Munchkin Land. I thought that was a really cool transition to just
Mhm.
color from black and
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
Dorothy accidentally defeating the Wicked Witch. She seems to do a lot of things on accident. The best quotes I thought were some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that in my heart. Um, you always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it for yourself.
Uh-huh.
Funny thing is, Megan, she gave me a write-up of her, like a few things, and that was one of her favorite quotes too.
Hmm.
Could this be remade as really anything? I didn't think so. I thought it was good as is. Casting what ifs, I said Meryl Streep is with the Wicked Witch.
Mm.
I'm imagining her portrayal in Devil Wears Prada
Yeah.
and how she was just not a nice lady.
Didn't she do that? And wasn't there like a movie, a Wicked movie, where she was that or something? I didn't see it, but I thought she played
I don't-
some. I thought she played some character from this.
She might have, I don't know. Oh, like the play, like the Broadway play?
Yeah, didn't they make a movie of that with her?
Well,
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. That'd be interesting to see if I picked the right person then. I could cast it. I could cast if that's true.
You could.
No, it was something else. It was Into the Woods. Never mind. But she played a witch.
They have
All right.
an AI generated Meryl Streep picture on the internet. So that's a
But it's
good.
Glinda.
It's Glinda with Meryl Streep's face in it.
There we go.
Mhm.
Huh.
So that was a good comparison.
Huh. And I'm remembering back to that bridge movie where she was just a terrible person.
Oh, you still haven't
So-
forgiven her for that?
I can't. The most significant metaphor, I said that, or I guess the most artistic shot. I liked the close-ups of the Wicked Witch as she was talking and doing her monologues, like with the monkeys and everything. I really liked the close-ups. Her makeup was well done. What aged the best? I said the special effects were great for being in the 1930s. And the worst, probably can't use the word munchkins anymore.
Mhm.
Some of my research, I was surprised by this. The cast had a grueling schedule, and they were taken to the hospital and were knocked out by sleeping pills just to sleep. And then 4 hours later, they'd wake up and give us pep pills again so that you could work for 72 hours in a row.
Really?
Yeah. That's what Julie said. Judy, sorry. The horses, this is from Megan, were dyed with Jello packets, which I thought
How'd she find that out?
she just likes random information about random movies, I guess. She loves this movie. The hair, one of my nitpicks were the hair on most of the cast, while in like the Munchkins mainly, looked like they shaved their heads and then put plastic caps on them. And why did they keep telling Dorothy she was pretty and good? Like, I'll get you, my pretty. Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness? Why did they keep telling her that? Overacting was Dorothy, especially in the beginning with the dog. She kept trying to tell people. She was obnoxious. The best small
Well,
role,
she
which
loved
wasn't
him. She loved little Toto.
yippee dog. The best small role, I wouldn't say this is a small role at all, was the lion.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick someone like smaller, I guess I would do what is it, the uncle?
Uncle Henry.
Yeah, I liked him. I
I
liked how
did.
I liked how Auntie M told the woman off, and he just
Yeah.
like shrugged and he was like, haha, she told you. The Jor Orlowski, It's Nice to Be Nice, was the Scarecrow. Best double feature, I said Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It reminded me a lot about that movie, just like the land, like Munchkin Land and the factory inside. And really any movie where the character gets knocked out and then they have a dream or an epiphany. I think the director won it. And everything in this movie was fantastic besides Dorothy's character. I'm not saying Judy Garland was terrible, but the way they portrayed her was kind of awful. The beginning started off with her being the entitled brat, who didn't think her dog should have consequences for biting a lady, destroying a garden, and chasing the woman's cat. It was terrorizing her. I would be mad too. I feel for the witch.
How about the
Who in
part?
the world ever take the side of Miss Gulch?
Well, Tyler, that's so.
How about the part when Annie M tells her like, "Oh, the Christian in me wants to tell you off."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. I love that one.
Being
And
a
like Tyler
Christian
said,
woman,
and Uncle Henry or whatever, like he goes like this. He's like rubbing the back of his neck, and he just goes like. But it's that's a great scene.
So acting, I gave it an 8. Directing, I thought was a 10. Cinematography, 10. Editing was a 10. Screenplay with the dialogue, I gave a 7. Storyline, 7. The music was pretty good with 9.4. Production, effects, and costuming, 10. Even though when the Tin Man was hanging onto the tail of the lion, you could see an outline of something pulling. Gave it like more structural integrity or something, the tail. The entertainment factor, I thought it was at 8.5, and artistic was 10.
All right. So even though you had the complaints, looking at the scores here,
Yeah.
give it an 89.9.
I thought it was fair.
Actually, let's see. I calculated yours wrong, Mom. I forgot one thing. Your cinematography, what did you have on that? You had
9.
9. Okay. So that brings you up. So you're at a 94.8 and Tyler's at an 89.9. That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm next. All right. So I had a lot of rewatchable scenes. I had seen this, I think when when Nathan was really, really little and we were just kind of watching movies because we were like stuck at home. I watched it, so I hadn't seen it that long ago, but I noticed a lot more things this in this viewing. I loved the introduction, the confrontation with Miss Gulch, the Somewhere Over the Rainbow song was good. The entrance into Oz and the Munchkin City stuff, although I talk about that like a nitpick, is some of that could have been shaved down, I think. Maybe one of those songs could have been nixed, I think.
Oh.
But I do love the entrance and like the introduction of them and stuff. But each of the introductions to the three, I really love all three of those introductions. And I know you said you didn't want like the Tin Man so much. That's the one I actually noticed this time. I really liked that performance. And Nathan, that was the one Nathan was the most excited by. Weirdly, I don't know. And I just never
was dancing.
Yeah. He was like
Yeah.
smiling and kind of jumping at that one. And I never really thought of the Tin Man before. The Lion definitely steals a lot of scenes. And I
Right.
don't know. I thought that I had some Tin Man thoughts this time. Some more appreciation for him. The flying monkey scene I thought was great. Scary. I remember it being scary. But the rescue of Dorothy and the defeat of the Wicked Witch was my favorite. And then the goodbye scene where she's leaving I think is good too. Best quotes, it's Twister, there's no place like home. I think the one you said that Glenda says is probably like the real theme of the movie, but I also have my favorite one is some people without brains do an awful amount of talking. The Scarecrow says, I also had will bust my buttons. And when the wizard says, I also thought the wizard was pretty funny this time. I never really thought he was that funny before, but I thought he was funny as just a bumbling kind of con man doofus. But I'm a very good man, but a very bad wizard. I think that this is untouchable. I say don't remake it. I don't want anything else. I don't want a prequel. I don't want to know anything else about it. I just want this movie like to stay. Most cinematic shot or most artistic shot. I picked this one. I took a picture of it. Where she's talking, it's like at the end, and that is what's called. I did a little research because I knew about this one. That's what's called a Dutch angle. If you ever see an angle, if you didn't know that, you might know that already. But if you ever see a sideways thing like that, that's a Dutch angle. It's a shot in which, and I got this from Wikipedia, and I cited my source that was on there. The Dutch angle is a shot in which the camera has been rotated around the axis of the lens and relative to the horizon or vertical lines in the shot. The primary use is to cause a sense of unease or disorientation for the viewer. So I thought this shot was really kind of like a modern looking shot. And I love that. I just thought with the thing in the background too, the like bird thing, I love that. And the monkey in the background it was awesome. I never really noticed that shot before. What does the yellow brick road represent? My thoughts, stories like of streets lined with gold. Is that why it's called the yellow brick road? Like El Dorado, the whole idea of like the city lined with gold, the idea of like hope and stories of somewhere else that's magical. Like, I don't know. I thought the visuals and cinematography looked amazing. I watched this on Max, which has the 4K version, like the HD 4K, and I thought it looked actually really, really good. The upscale or whatever, and the switch to Technicolor when she gets to Oz is still, I think, awesome. And then the universal theme of just like, I do agree that Dorothy's character is kind of flimsy, but the theme of just there's no place like home and you can't find your heart's desire just by running away. And then I stopped. Like I didn't finish my thought there, but just by running away, which is kind of what she did in the beginning. Worst, the weird way that Glinda sings, how she does that weird like 1930s, 40s thing. That I don't think that aged well. The superficial nature of witches, the idea that, yeah, Dorothy's just pretty, and so that's why she's good. And only the bad witches are ugly. So you can't have a good looking villain. Like, so any of the villains are just going to be ugly. That's, I mean, that didn't age well. But if you're pretty, then you got to be good. So that was kind of stupid, but it was the 30s. So apparently this was not a huge success at the box office, which I was shocked by. I thought this was like a big smash hit. Apparently it was like kind of middling, but it was shown on TV a lot. And TV was like, when TV started getting big in like the 50s, that's when, or I guess when, I don't know when people really started getting TVs more, but that's when it became like a classic. There were a lot of toxic and dangerous chemicals used for makeup and effects. The Scarecrow actor died of cancer, like bladder cancer, and they think it was probably because there was asbestos, like the snow was asbestos, and the makeup they had to use was like all real toxic. And like Tyler said, that the conditions were just hell. Everybody hated working on it, and they fed Judy Garland. Made her smoke cigarettes to lose weight. Yeah, and this one actually Julie had told me, and I looked it up. But they said she was overweight, and she was like 14 or 15 or something when it was, and so they gave her a bunch of cigarettes to smoke, and I think that's when she got addicted to like drugs. Is from this, because they were giving her like, I think like amphetamines or something to lose weight, like diet pills to lose weight too. So it's pretty messed up. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch, was an educator, and she met with many children to show them that I guess it was the show. I didn't finish my thought here either, but that the Wicked Witch wasn't so scary. Like, it was like you could be nice to people who you think are scary at first. She was on Mr. Rogers. She was really involved in Mr. Rogers. Some of the Munchkin bald caps looked very fake, as Tyler pointed out, and some of the prosthetics looked very fake. I thought you could get rid of the Lullaby League. I like the other ones, the Lullaby League. I know it was only a short part, but you don't need that. So some of that segment I think could have been shaved down. Some of the backgrounds in Oz are clearly painted walls, but again, that's watching it 4K, like, now. So I thought the miniature work with the witch flying, they could have spent a little more time on that one. That looked like, a thing they were spinning around. Why does the Wicked Witch fly if she can teleport? Right? She teleports with the smoke, right? Seemingly she's going how far is she going when she just disappears in the smoke, right? Why would she need to fly with a broomstick? All right, here's my hot take. You ready for this, Mom? It's a funny song, but the Cowardly Lion's If I Were King song doesn't need to be there necessarily. It's funny, and I get it. I know you're going to be angry, but it's a little too much, I think. And the Cowardly Lion is awesome in this, and he steals the show. He steals scenes. Like, he's great. He's the best comic relief of those three guys. I don't think they needed to have that. I get why they did it, and I understand it's a good song and stuff, but like, it doesn't do anything for the story. So either maybe put it in a different part, or I don't know. Sorry.
Wow.
And this is my other hot take. That's my first hot take. Ready for this one? I think Tin Man is the MVP of the crew when it comes to being effective. Like, Scarecrow is the leader, right? He's the one who becomes, and it makes sense that he does. He's got the brain and stuff. But Tin Man does the most for the party. He is the first one when they beat up the guards. He's the first one to like emerge, which like it kind of shows he was the one who was really beating up those guards. He knocks the door down with the axe, and he drops the chandelier on the guards, which is the whole thing, right? They'd be dead or in prison if he didn't drop the chandelier.
The one that told him. Scarecrow told him.
That's true. That is true. But he's the one that I feel like, and that's why it makes sense that the Scarecrow kind of tells him everything to do, but he's the muscle. But he really, I'd never really thought about that before I saw this. It was is because I always think of Scarecrow and Lion. I always kind of forget about Tin Man. I thought it was great casting, like a really strong supporting cast, especially the humor. And I thought the rapport between the four of them, I always think is really good. I appreciated more of Frank Morgan, who played Oz, the wizard, as the psychic, the guard, and Oz. He plays those three roles. I thought he was really funny, actually. I never really thought of him as funny. I always thought of him as kind of really overacting, which I have him. I had him in overacting, but everybody's really kind of going for it in this movie. Like it's, you know, I thought he was funny in this one where he's like on the hot air balloon and he doesn't know how to get down. Like I don't know. I thought he was funny. And he's vital for the role, the most important role for the theme, obviously, that great things don't always live up to your high hopes and expectations. I think he's intentionally like a doofus, like, and he's got wisdom, but he's not what they would expect. I got Aunt M also. Well, no, I actually wanted Uncle Henry. Aunt M was really good, but I actually wanted Uncle Charlie or Uncle Henry. I don't know why I called him Uncle Charlie here. I was with Nathan, as you could tell. Terry as Toto, I thought was great. I excluded the main four from this, but the Lion steals the most scenes. Margaret Hamilton as the Gulch. Glinda was probably the nice to be nice, I thought, because she, she comes in, she gives the whole kind of moral to her and stuff like that. I also said Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Director won the movie, or only one Oscar. I said director. A truly timeless classic, clear to see the influence on modern movies, especially fantasy and the hero's journey or coming of age stories. Heartwarming, funny, well crafted, and exciting. All right, so I'm going to put my scores in. 9.5.
Yeah, you scored it high.
Yeah. Higher than I thought I was going to, actually.
Well, we'll see if Jeffrey.
I know, he's going to be the... We'll see. All right, let's see. 9.5, 10. I got to pull up the other one. All right, so acting I had 9.5, directing I had 10, cinematography I had 10, editing I had 8.5 because even though it was really good, I thought they could have like cut down a couple scenes. Screenplay I had 9, storyline I had 9, music and sound I had 10, production design I had 9.5, entertainment I said 10, artistic factor 9.5. Wow, I gave this a 95. Yeah, that was way higher than I thought I was going to do, but this time around, I really, really liked it.
Probably because Nathan was jumping around.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was really kind of invested in it. Yeah, that probably didn't hurt. But all right, next up we got Jeff.
All right. So I watched this one twice.
You did?
I saw some different things the second time I watched it, and I really like this one. So, most rewatchable: Follow the Epic Road, the tornado scene, the death of the witch, and then the final scene where Oz gives up all the heart, the courage, and the scholar, the diploma. Some quotes: "There's no place like home. Ding dong, witch is dead. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore." And they obviously made some sequels there. Casting what ifs. Okay, I thought hard on this one. I'm going with the Home Improvement style. So I said Tim Allen as the Scarecrow, Al as the Lion, and Wilson as the Tin Man. So I thought that'd be pretty great. Let's see. So some metaphors: the red slippers, the foreshadowing in the beginning scene with each character. So that was basically like when they were at the farm and they made little like comments to Dorothy, like the Scarecrow said, what, don't you have any brains? And then,
Yeah.
they made little foreshadowing there. And then the 3 character traits shown throughout the movie. So, like you guys were talking about, when the Scarecrow hit the rope, he was using his brain.
Right.
The lion had courage when he jumped to get into the castle, and the Tin Man, he yelled for help when Dorothy was sleeping and the lion was sleeping. So he had some heart, So I thought that was pretty interesting. What aged the best and the worst? I thought the music was great. Visual effects for the time were great. The big 3, each of them had a solo scene. Like each of them had like their moment. So I thought that was cool. And then the horse colors. What aged the worst? I said just no cars. And then I had to add this one in. There's no Coke commercials or VHS adjustments, because we used to like record it on the VHS, and you would have to they had all the old time commercials, and then and then the VHS would get all tangled up, so you had to turn it. So that was one good thing about watching it this time. Some other stuff. I thought the color schemes was a cool dynamic. So the black and white in reality, and then the dream was colored. And I thought the little details with the characters was really good. So the Tin Man needed oil, Scarecrow, he always fell down. If you guys noticed that whenever he started walking, he'd fall down. So
Right.
kind of small details. Overacting, I just said Judy, at the beginning of the movie, she was a little bit too much. I still thought she was good. I said the best small role was the Munchkins, all together. I think that kind of set the tone for the movie and the songs. I just thought, they weren't in the whole movie, so it was just kind of the collective group. And Maloka of the Month, I said Margaret. I said the Scarecrow was the Nice to Be Nice. Best double feature, Willy Wonka. And the second time around, I loved Margaret Hamilton. I think she might be top 50 villains of all time in terms of movie. I mean, her laugh was phenomenal. She was
I
scary.
agree.
Very scary.
I mean, she's probably one of the best witches in all of,
I think she's the best. There's not a more I don't think a better iconic portrayal of a witch than this one.
Yeah. And the laugh was unbelievable. So I said the director won it, but I think she was really close there. So great storyline, great music. I thought she delivered, and she's on the list. I went in on these scores a little bit. So I got him here, Mike. I'll read them to you. Acting 7, directing 8, cinematography 7, editing 7, screenplay 8, storyline 9, music 9, production design 8, entertainment 8, artistic 8.
Oh, you went low.
All right, 79. So our average there, and I went pretty high. So, but hey, I mean, I did this before because I was really thinking about it, and I was like, is this too high? And after I watched it, I was like, no, I couldn't personally give him lower scores than I did. So we got to be honest with him. But yeah, 89.675 is our overall average for The Wizard of Oz.
All right. Princess Bride, 87, directed by Rob Reiner, written by William Golden, starring Robin Wright, Carrie Elves, Mandy Patinkin, Christopher Sarandon, and Christopher Guest. Most rewatchable scenes, I thought him falling down the hill, saying, "As you wish."
I know.
The Game of Wits with Vizzini, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought he was phenomenal. And then the Montoya fight scene
Yeah.
towards the end. Best quotes, I said, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." And then I said no for the Netflix series. And then I said Professor Snape as Prince Humperdinck and Shaq as Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Let's see. Metaphor, I just said the machine, which symbolizes like the prince thought he had defeated Wesley, and he didn't. So, he didn't end up killing him. He survived. So, what age the best? I thought the comedy in this movie was really good. Like I thought it really played like in a 2024. Costumes were really good. And then I just said the worst was, obviously fighting with swords compared to like guns and stuff like that. Some internet research, Andre the Giant was 520 pounds and he was 7'4". I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he was pretty agile.
Yeah. I didn't have anyone. I just thought the jokes and stuff like that. I don't think anyone really overacted. I think it kind of went along with the movie. But I thought Vizzini, I just loved that character. I thought he was, phenomenal. The Maloke Prince and Nice Be Nice. I said Andre. Best double feature, Robin Hood, and I said the director won it. I said it was a funny movie, good storyline, acting was pretty good. It was funnier, but I think that the Wizard of Oz took this one.
Mm-hmm.
What did you was it Robin Hood Men in Tights for your best double feature?
I believe
Which
so. Yeah.
which Robin Hood? The one that like the funny one?
Yeah.
Who's
I think that was the one I was thinking of.
That's not the Kevin Costner one, right?
Right.
That's not that one.
The one who plays him in. Well, that's why, because Carrie Ellis plays Robin Hood in that one. It's the guy who plays Wesley in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let me put your scores in then.
Yeah, it was the Men in Tights, I think. Yep.
All right, so Jeff, you got 7, and
7.
3 7s.
Yep. Editing.
Okay,
8.
acting, directing, and cinematography. Okay, what do you got?
Editing 8. Screenplay 9. Storyline 7. Music 6. Production 7. Entertainment 8. Artistic 9.
Okay, gave that one a 75. So actually, Wizard of Oz beat it. Jeff's feeling he's got the critics hat on today. I like it.
He is.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I am next here. All right, so I like the cliffs climb and the duel between Wesley. Like, so I guess it's kind of the introduction to Wesley. The duel with Montoya and Indigo Montoya. The Dazzini poison wine scene is one of my favorites too. I really love that scene. But I think the climb and the duel, that's the one I remember the most from this. As you wish, life is pain, highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something. Marriage is what brings us together. And Inconceivable. I love Inconceivable too. I say, and honestly, like this one I didn't write as much as in Wizard of Oz, but I say this is untouchable. I couldn't think of any casting what ifs. I should have thought about this more. And I didn't have what age the best or the worst really, or nitpicking. No overacting. I agree that this was it's just a really, really funny movie. I've seen this movie a bunch. Wallace Shawn as Dizini. I think we should rename the small role scene stealing award to the Dizini award, because I just think that scene is just, and he's only in the movie for how long, you know? And he like just, you know, he's lights out, and just the whole thing up to his death is just great. But there's a lot of small roles in this that are great. I thought Yellen the spy is really funny. He's like he's only in like a scene, but he's just this weird little guy who's like a spy. Fezzik, I guess not really that small of a role, but Miracle Max, Billy Crystal, I always think he's funny. And the priest, obviously, of the marriage scene is amazing.
He was.
I said Christopher Guest as Tyrone is the Maloke of the month. He's just, I think he's so great as Tyrone. Like just how he runs away in that scene is just hilarious.
Yeah.
Humperdinck is great, but the Nice to Be Nice, I had Fezzik as a nominee, but I thought Wesley won for me. I thought he's really great in the movie. I also had Robin Hood Men in Tights and Monty Python. I had, because the humor style was very reminiscent of Monty Python, I feel like. And then I got best screenplay. The writer for best, I feel like the screenplay is just awesome, even if the plot's not that complicated. The dialogue, I think, is great. A fun, exciting, and hilarious medieval fantasy story that doesn't take itself too seriously, because it even kind of it's really bordering on parody, if not being kind of a parody, but it still has authentic and interesting characters. A great introduction to love for a preteen boy. I think that like frame narrative, the way they do it, it works. So I'll put the scores in. I got a 10. I think I have it pulled up on my phone here. I got a 10 for acting, 9 for directing, 8.5 for cinematography, 9.5 for, I thought the editing and the pacing of this movie really works too. I feel like it's really paced well. 10 for screenplay. Storyline, I gave it a 9. I was feeling generous with these. Music and sound, I gave it an 8, because the music's nothing great or anything. Production design, 9. Entertainment factor, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Artistic was an 8, because it's not the most like deep movie, but I just feel like it's super entertaining. So overall score 91. So Wizard of Oz also beat it for me too. Okay, so next we got Tyler.
Yep. All right. So the most rewatchable scenes, obviously the climbing of the rope and the sword fight. Even though the swords were bending because they're plastic. The wedding, that priest was amazing.
Yeah.
The best quote I thought was with the grandson and grandpa, when he was like, "Is this a kissing book?" And then he goes, "Keep your shirt on."
Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah. Then am I going mad, or did the word think escape your lips? I think that was, what was his name? Vizzini.
Bazzini,
I
yeah,
said
he had some good lines.
to Andre the Giant. I said Jennifer Lawrence could be Princess Buttercup. I only switched her out because I'm skipping what aged the best or the worst, but my picking it was Princess Buttercup wasn't very likable. I don't know, like she didn't really have a personality, or they didn't show it. So I don't know why he kept.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the reason I kind of replaced her in What Ifs.
He was very loyal, though. He was very loyal. Got to give her that, Tyler.
I'll give her that, but she still didn't have a personality.
No, that's true. That's true.
The overacting, I agree. It went with the movie and everything, but I said Vizzini. The best small role was definitely Fezzik, Andre the Giant. He was just so likable. He was just so nice and innocent. Maloke of the month, I said Prince Humperdinck. That's kind of a given, but really there were a couple. Joe Orlowski, It's Nice to Be Nice, was Andre the Giant, Fezzik. Best double feature, this reminded me of a lot of Hook with Robin Williams. Although they were drastically different storylines. I'm not sure why. That was the first movie that came to my mind for this.
Kind of the tone is similar, right? I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of similar. I guess Hook's more serious, but I could see that for sure.
Like, I guess it kind of goes along with Wizard of Oz too. He gets knocked out, right? He wakes up in the snow
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
So, I said the director won it. I think everything was just put together so well that I don't think any actor or even the writers could. I think it was the director. My final thought was simple. I thought it was fun and humorous fantasy story. So,
All right, so let's go to the
all right,
tallies here.
Acting, I said 9.5. Directing, 9. Cinematography was an 8. Editing was a 9. The screenplay and dialogue I thought was a 10. Storyline, 8.5. The music was definitely subpar 6. I said production, effects and costuming, I thought they were 9s. Entertainment factor was definitely a 10. It made me laugh so hard. I love that movie. And our artistic factor was an 8.
Had you seen this before, Tyler?
I hadn't seen that one.
How about you, Jeff?
I had never seen that. No.
Nice. All right, so last up is the
Old lady.
swing vote here. No, I
Let's
wasn't going to
see.
say the old lady. The Princess Bride or
Yes,
Mary Lou.
And I had never seen the whole thing through.
Oh,
I
wow.
had just seen little snippets of it. So I loved the eels when she got in the water with the eels. I thought it was very scary. And those big rodents scared the crap out of me. And that fencing scene I loved with Inigo and anyway. I loved As You Wish, and I loved I think it was Vicini when Wesley says your intellect is dazzling, and he goes, wait till I get going. I just cracked up. And then, you seem like a decent fellow. I hate to kill you. I love that Inigo Montoya too.
Yeah, we haven't talked about him enough. He's so
Yeah.
good at it.
And Humperdinck, when he goes, I shall be very put out. I can't remember what he was going to be put out about, but they were all cracking me up. I said I thought there could be a sequel when Indigo Montoya goes as a pirate, and escapades with Fezzik. I didn't do any castings I thought the significant metaphor with the rope climbing scene showed the true character of Inigo and Wesley both, because he could have killed him and he didn't. And when he fell down the hill when Wesley was yelling, as you wish, that was a clear thing that it was him, true love back again. The ironic humor is what aged the best. And I didn't have any picking nits. I didn't have any overacting. Best small role, I had Montoya, and I loved Carol Kane. I just loved her. She
Yeah,
was only in there for a second, but I just loved her.
she's
She was
Miracle Max's
screaming it.
wife, right?
Yes, and
This
she
is like
comes
my
out of the
favorite
woodwork. She's screaming her head off. I just thought she was hysterical.
because for me, she gets to be too much in some movies, and I thought she's perfect in this one.
Well,
Like,
because she wasn't in it very long.
I know.
But I just loved her. I put Humperdinck for the Maloke. But I also think that other guy, the one that ran away at the end, I forgot what his name was.
Tyrone.
The six-fingered guy. Yeah, he was pretty bad too. And Joe Orlowski I gave to Wesley because he hung in there. And I gave the director the Oscar, and I just said I totally enjoyed the movie, love the irony and the subtle humor, and I see why it's so quotable. And exciting and endearing characters kept you rooting for their success. So I gave acting an 8 out of 10. I don't know why I did 8 out of 10. I don't know why.
I got it pulled up.
You got
here,
'em?
So
I
yeah.
can't remember what I did,
All right.
but I gave it
you
high.
yeah, you gave acting an 8 out of 10, directing a 10 out of 10, cinematography a 9, editing, pacing an 8, screenplay we all gave it a 10 pretty much. I guess Jeff gave it a 9, but we all gave it real high scores. We didn't like the music.
Well, there really wasn't any.
I know, and it
So,
even I don't even remember there being much background stuff.
well, I mean, it didn't probably need it. So maybe it was
Right.
like we could have put NA because it really wasn't
No,
applicable.
because I feel like I really looked at that, and there could have been like background, like kind of medieval music, but I don't. We must. There's a reason we had it that low. 9.5 for production design, 8.5 for entertainment, and 9 for artistic. So that is a total of 89. So it looks like, yeah, The Wizard of Oz is the winner of the judges. Let me make sure the scores are right here.
It's pretty close though, right?
Yeah, so 89.675 to 84.3.
Okay.
So the winner is, let me actually do it now that we have both. So for the judges bracket, we can crown Wizard of Oz the winner of our first matchup. All right, so let me pull up the link to.
I have it written out. I have
you
our
do?
result.
All right, let's see.
I have 18
Okay,
votes.
yeah.
Wizard of Oz 7, Princess Bride 11. That's the
Really?
fantasy. It's
Yep.
backwards.
Yeah.
Okay,
Isn't there?
so.
I bet you
in-
Brian and Jack both went for Princess Bride.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. So, yeah, I think so because Jack texted. He was like, "Brian, I hope you made the right bet." What did Dad pick? Wizard of Oz.
No, I don't know. He wouldn't tell me.
Well, now that the vote's over, but Julie picked Princess Bride.
So do we know how people voted, or it's anonymous?
It's
It's
anonymous. Yeah.
So
It's true
Megan,
It
democracy.
is.
right? Megan
Yeah.
picked Wizard, I'm sure.
Oh,
And-
she definitely did.
Yeah. I don't know who did. I don't know. Really.
I don't know. We'll have to ask them
I bet.
if they are willing to share.
So the Princess Bride won. So now what do we do?
Well, so it's like I thought, and I don't know, because I guess we haven't talked about this since we met last, but I thought I guess we texted about it, having like, it's kind of like an election of you have a popular vote and you got the electoral college one or the judges bracket, which is really not like representative of the people, but it's us. So I think we just have two and it's not like I think Dad he was going to do a full bracket, but we can't, that's way too much. So I think this is better of just having the popular vote.
Yeah.
And the judges
Oh, yeah,
brackets.
got more participation.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So I think that was good. All right. So, what do we want to do next? So taking a look at here, let me zoom out to see the full bracket.
Okay, so if I understand this right, when do we do the wild card? Not right now.
Yeah.
We
No,
do that later.
right. So after we're done with all the matchups, we can come back to it whenever.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go in the same order, but we just come back to it and we watch Mary Poppins, and then we'll watch a different wild card in a different matchup, right?
Right.
And then
Okay.
we'll just come back and we'll be like, well, those two won their wild card matches, and then we even do that before we get to the next round.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll be in
So-
a nursing home by then, but it's okay.
You can still Zoom from a nursing home. They still do Zoom there. They got internet.
Everyone gets an iPad.
That's right. That's right. You got your Fruit Ninja and
I'll
And then
get
you
all
can-
my little friends involved.
yeah,
So could we do Rocky versus Rudy? Because
we
I
could.
bet you everybody has seen or has heard of both of those as opposed to Hoosiers. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I'm down with that.
What do you
Wow.
guys think?
That's a good. It's good alliteration too. Rocky versus Rudy is pretty.
That's going to be
Good marketing.
Yeah. Well, I know what Jack Losinger is going to vote for.
Yes, we all know that. All
But,
right.
the first Rocky?
Yeah,
The first Rocky.
Okay.
not the one
Okay.
where he wins the Cold War single-handedly, because that one would beat everything on this bracket. Rocky 4 would beat everything. So
Yeah, but have you guys seen all those too many times? Are you bored with them or no?
I can
No.
watch it.
You don't get bored of Rocky.
no,
No.
And the first one, like, it gets more. I feel like it gets more and more ridiculous as they go on. And I like all of them up to before 5. I didn't see Rocky Balboa, but the first one is like, oh man. And I haven't seen it in a long time, but that's such a great movie. All right, so we're good with.
Remember when
Rocky-
Bozy peed on the
I was
tape?
just gonna say that. Yeah, that was a bad day. That was a bad day.
Yeah, Jack Losinger is just in love with Rocky, and he had all 5 tapes stacked up on the floor, and the dog peed on him. He went like berserk. What's
That's
up?
such a like sure, like he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing with that. Like
That's
he's
a
like, I
power
know, like,
move.
man,
Oh my
that's
God.
power moves, right? That is power moves right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Was a
So
lunatic.
next time we meet, we will do sports theme, sports classics, Rocky 1976 versus Rudy 1993.
Love it.
Yeah, those would be good.
Yeah.
Here is the link, Mike, for our poll.
Oh, nice. Sounds good. I'll send the save that.
Now thank them for their participation. So
Oh, I
that'll
will.
give them a little
I will, and
positive
I'll
reinforcement.
announce the winner. So we have the info on it. Cool.
Yeah, that's surprising. Aunt Sue will not be happy, and Aunt Joanne, and Uncle Mike.
They'll get over it. They'll get over it.
Yeah, I figured the younger generation would take it over. Although I don't know, Uncle Mike may have voted for Princess Bride. I can see him enjoying the humor in that one.
My what Brian and Jack were saying in our group chat, they said they couldn't believe that Uncle Mike hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
Like they were. I was too. I was pretty, and it sounded like Alex and at least Alex said inconceivable, I think. So he must have seen it for sure.
yeah.
We have Napoleon Dynamite is coming to the field on this weekend.
Oh,
So
really?
I had to buy a vote for
Yes.
Pedro.
Nice.
So I'm gonna wear it like on the field before the game, and I'm gonna have him sign it.
Nice. That's
I love that.
awesome.
Get fired up.
That's awesome.
Napoleon.
I have like this. I have a pair of like my blue light glasses I wear at night, like when I'm watching TV,
Mhm.
and so I'm gonna wear those with that.
Give him a plate of
Get a picture with him. Make sure
Yeah.
somebody gets a picture with him.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
That's
Oh
great.
my God, remember how much you guys loved that?
Oh,
Give him some
so
tots.
good.
The little
I
dance.
I watched it not that long ago. That movie is so good. I
Yeah.
love that movie. That holds up.
Yeah. Well, we
give me
should
some
put that
tots.
on. We have to put that on.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
think of a good pairing with it.
I know.
Napoleon Dynamite versus what? I don't know.
He did like a spoof, like a video for our big screen, and he got on. He was like, "We're gonna kill Sugarland. We're gonna kill him. We're gonna at least try." Like, it was pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
All right.
guys. All right.
Good
I'll
stuff.
see ya.
All right, see you guys.
Bye bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.